welcome to Talk Time Anime. My name is Jordan. Today I'm joined by Lewis.
Hello.
And we're doing something we haven't done in quite a while. We are reviewing Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 133 today. And honestly, because it's been a brilliant year for Jujutsu Kaisen. We've been doing the reactions every week and stuff. And the Shibuya incident has not disappointed so far. So much stuff going on. But yeah, like I said, we haven't done it in a while, and we kind of want to start up again, but with everything else going on the channel and stuff, it's been hard to fill it in. But we thought, well, why not? We'll start off again and see how it goes. But yeah, for now, let's just focus on the chapter. So this chapter starts off with Todo and his friend. I can't remember his name. I did try and remember, but no, it starts off with Todo and his friend basically saying how he arrived there, like when he saw all the basically kind of zombified people, just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
And he worked out there that basically Geto has the prison realm with Gojo in it, so his goal changed straight away the minute they got there. So that explains how he probably got to Yuji so quick at the time. From the time he got there, we also see more of Pando in his gorilla form, and he found what's his name, Kusakabe. Yeah. The cowardly guy who was I think it's fair to say he wasn't stuck under that rubble. He was just hiding. He was clearly aware that Panda was looking for him. But he just tries to get out of things, didn't he? But yeah, he says something interesting about basically remember that not all the sorcerers are on your side,
even him.
Yeah, he's in his opinion, you should have got the death penalty. And I mean, when you see what happened at Shibuya, you can see why people say who are not involved with it as much, like him. You can kind of see why he maybe thinks that, I mean, we're not on that.
Yeah, because all he's seen is just Sukuna go nuts.
Yeah, I mean, if it prevents it, one life to prevent all the stuff that's happened, it's balancing act. But again, these people don't know yet, how big an asset Yuji could be or even
Gojo how he has been.
How he has been
against
Mahio.
Well.
It's true. Yeah, again, I don't really see that, people from in other sections like Kyoto and all this. So, but yeah, hopefully.
The only one that has is Todo.
Only one, yeah.
Todo's
Todo just loves him.
Kyoto.
Todo just loves him because of the fact.
Yeah,
he
he's
didn't
the
care
only one
beforehand, really.
Yeah.
They're
more bros now. That's why.
They are bros. Oh man, that's a brilliant relationship. But yeah, so yeah, he states how basically at the moment I'm still kind of siding with what the majority of sorcerers think of we should have just got rid of Yuji in total kind of thing.
Yeah.
But while Gojo's around, they won't really go against it that much. But then at the same time, it's Gojo is still locked up. I don't know how many chapters it's been now since that. Probably since near the beginning. Must be 40 chapters or something, or approaching that, since we've had Gojo.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
It's gotta be about 40 chapters since you last seen him.
Yeah, fucking hell, it's actually
could
crazy.
do a comeback right now.
Honestly, would love it. But yeah, then we jump to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And it's very weird. I mean, I've kind of stand Mei Mei ever since that. Ever since the fight and stuff, I thought she looked sick,
Yeah.
But this bit was a bit weird, bro. I can't lie. This kind of freaked me out a bit.
Yeah.
That the whole bit. At first, it was Mei Mei in bed, and I was like, okay. But then I saw
her brother.
Yeah, and it was her brother. I was like, right, okay. And then the way they were talking and
Gigi,
stuff.
where you going?
Yeah, and I was like, Gigi, why are you doing this, bro? I was like, I didn't know that any of this kind of shit was going on. Anyway. We'll move on past that weird shit, but know that, me standing her has taken a huge hit today. But should we move on, and she's chatting to someone over the phone. And basically, we can presume, because the last time we saw her, she was fighting Geto, who we now know is with Yuji. And she kind of everyone was worried, they thought maybe she was dead or something. But it sounds like, I saw actually someone say this on Twitter, but the fact that it actually came true, I thought it was more of a joke. But it sounds like she kind of just got paid off, in terms of she was always about the money ever since the beginning kind of thing. And
yeah.
Either that or she was kind of with it since the beginning, she knew this kind of shit was going to go down, because the fact she talks about the stocks and economy and stuff of Japan. So whether this was all part of her plan kind of thing in a little way, so that she could obviously get on the better end of the stock market and that. And then now, as we know, she's out in Malaysia now, and she's telling that guy, "Oh, I kind of like what's the word? Why is that word going out of my head? I recommend you to sell all your kind of like Japanese stocks and stuff because it's all gonna fall, given time." But no, yeah, that was interesting. I was very disappointed in Mei Mei. Looks like it was a shame. It was a shame.
It's weird because like her conversations with Yuji seem so genuine.
Yeah, I know. I thought the money thing was kind of like a Nami-esque like money thing, you know, like she was still like a sorcerer number one before she was
just not
a greedy fucker, you know.
Just not a sellout.
But no, she just seems like, as far as I get money, who gives a shit, you know? Which I respect chasing the bag, but at the cost of a country, I mean, it's pretty peak. But yeah, or the cost of like potentially a world if the curse is get Gojo. But I don't know. We'll have to see how her whole thing plays out. She's definitely got an interesting part in the whole grand scheme of things now for me. Like,
yeah, she does.
You know,
she's gonna come back.
This is it. She's gonna come back. She's gonna be involved big in some way. You know, whether she's going fully against the Jujutsu sorcerers now, or like she's on the curse side, or like as you say, she's gonna come back in some way. But like,
it's so weird because like
But then I'll get to one bit at the end actually.
I was gonna say like there's one bit I was gonna say, but I'll leave it at the end.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah. For now though, we jump back to Shibuya, and it's what's his name? I've got it written down. Yeah, Chozo. I think
Chozo.
And
one of the brothers.
Yeah, and he's still kind of coming to terms with the fact that like obviously those new memories have got implanted in him. And he still can't quite work them out, but he states that like he wants to go and hunt down Yuji basically now because he wants answers, you know. Which is, I don't know how that's going to work out. I mean, I've kind of got a few things in my head of what would happen if he turned up now, kind of thing, you know. Like I don't know. Either he's gonna, I kind of have a bad feeling for him if I'm being honest. Like,
I feel like Geto's gonna end him.
It's gonna be kind of like a power crush thing, you know, like in terms of like a power scale type thing, like to show how strong he is. That's what I'm feeling. Like, because obviously, I mean, maybe he help Yuji, you know, because of those memories. But again, I feel like he's gonna get crushed or something, and he's gonna be the kind of like thing to show that. Because really,
is it Jogo?
Jogo.
He's gonna be the Jogo of what like he was.
Oh, Sukuna, yeah, exactly. And it's like I feel like also, well, unless Gigi gives him a new lease of life in the series, I feel like with his brothers dead and all this stuff going down, like with Jogo and this arc, you can't really see what he's gonna do post this arc. If you know what I mean. So that'll be interesting. I feel like to me it's got death flags ringing around, you know. But we'll have to see. But then we get back finally to Yuji and Geto, and we're all caught up at this point. Like, it's obviously times, and that's been going up. Yeah, and Mahito. And we get a first glimpse of Geto, or the brain's powers, whoever's controlling Geto, Geto's body, I should say. And he's got some kind of like illusion powers. It seems like mind illusion powers, because Yuji goes charging at him with the
and he feels like he's falling.
Yeah. He goes charging at him because he wants to get back Gojo, right? Like mainly, and also probably wants to make sure he doesn't get away with Mahito, because in his head he's probably still thinking they're allies type deal. But yeah, basically as you said, like he has like an illusion power where like it gives him the thing of that he's fallen straight down like a hole. I'm wondering if it's like, you know, one of those sensations like when you have a dream and you're falling and you wake up or something. But yeah, apparently he like completely flipped or something, which seemed crazy.
He says about he says I willed multiple cursed spirits, semi grade 1 or higher. So he has like multiple techniques. It's not even just solely one.
Rereading that kind of gave me like a all for one vibe, but like in terms of like you can just store all these like as he said semi grade 1 techniques are higher, and then the fact that he can stack them on top of each other, you know, like, you know, he can pull out 2 at once and like, you know, go for big damage, which he did, because obviously as we see Yuji gets pretty messed up.
It's like chains, like ripped chains, and then
man, I was like, that is fucked. Like, you know, I couldn't believe when I was like, I was kind of gutted if I'm being real, because I really wanted Yuji to go in. He's come in and ruined it all.
I mean,
you just kind of fucked him up.
We'll leave it for the end again, but I feel like this is where we start to see what's really gonna transpire
we're
for the rest
approaching.
of.
Yeah, we're approaching the end now anyway. But like, I wanted to point out about what he says, something interesting about Utah, and says like how again haven't read Chapter 0 because I want to wait for the English release in January. But he's mentioned him again and says something about he would have won instead of Utah had the forces not been split into 2 sections. So I'm wondering what he means by that and who he is. Like, I don't know, like, unless I'm missing something, like, that I shouldn't be missing. Like, I don't know who this he is, because obviously Yuji's not there, who's in front of him, you know?
The forces hadn't been divided between...
Like...
Well, the night parade of 100 demons, was that not Todo?
Yeah, Todo was there. Todo was in that event. So I think Utah... well, spoiler alert, I know Utah fights Geto, kind of thing. Or, like, has a clash with him in some way. Because he's there. So like they said in previous chapters that he was in that incident, basically.
So maybe he's talking about Geto.
So, yeah, I'm thinking that. Like, is it before Brain takes over Geto? And is he saying Geto could have... But I don't know, because I haven't read it. And also, maybe we're not supposed to know the answer. I generally don't know.
No,
kind of thing.
Maybe that's something coming, because
maybe
it comes out next month.
Yeah.
So maybe there... he has planned it well, because he sort of... This has started to come out as it's coming out in England.
Like, yeah, it's true. Yeah. He knows like the global release and stuff.
It's full out. It's
how we've got it so late. Because like even Germany and that has volumes here. But yeah, I do agree with what you're saying. You know, the anime's out. It's all coming together a bit in the manga. Like it's kind of like makes you're right. Because people who are watching the anime are going to want answers to that, you know, and the thing. But nah, it's fair. But I'm hoping
it would be interesting to know whether, at this point, like with Geto, is it like the brain can control him and also Geto can have his... You know, he has Sukuna.
Is Geto's like consciousness there in a way, kind of thing? Like,
yeah,
is it gonna be one of them stereotypical things? But,
if sometimes we are actually seeing Geto and not the brain talk.
Yeah. The only thing that leads me to not believe that is Gojo, like the way what he said when he found out. Because like
he's already dead.
Yeah, and like how the brain said it wasn't even just that. It was the way Gojo said that my brain is telling me you're Geto, kind of thing. Like your whole thing, your whole like pressure and everything. I keep saying spiritual pressure, but like the cursed spirit and everything. He told demeanor, his whole presence. You know, like how they can sense. It senses like it's all Geto. Like
Geto.
Geto. It's all Geto. So he's perfectly disguised, this brain guy, kind of thing. But then he says something like, "Oh, but my heart says you're not," kind of thing, or something like that.
Yeah.
And obviously he's not. Which makes me feel like even if there was like a little bit of Geto still in there, then Gojo wouldn't have thought that kind of thing. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will be a kind of stereotypical like, oh no, Geto held back the bad guy in some instances. I don't know, but I personally think Geto died where he died, and then the brain just took his body. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Could still be like some kind of spirit or consciousness there. It would be interesting if that happened though, because of all the dialogue and that we've had about, you know, souls and stuff from Mahito before and things like that. It would be interesting how they'd write that in, but again, the brain is like the next big bad guy, you know. I feel like it's going to potentially be the main bad guy of the series, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And then after you see Yuji, I'm not gonna lie, because obviously you see it in the next bit of the panel.
Mm-hmm.
He withstands a lot of damage.
When you
rewatch the anime, he endures a lot of damage.
No, definitely. Just like, I mean, even like Geto says, he's like, even I'm impressed by how much Sukuna's vessel can handle. How much of that is Sukuna and how much of that is Yuji himself? Obviously, Yuji's got a very impressive like physical body anyway. Yeah. But like, Sukuna's obviously got a bit to play at now, I'd imagine. Especially with how Mahito explains how like a human body kind of works in terms like it's built around the soul. The soul comes first. Yeah. And now that Sukuna's thing is in, it's kind of like, I guess in his body is getting more and more Sukuna-esque. Because that's even what Gojo says about like he'll be able to use more and more powers the more he gets kind of like combined with Sukuna and more fingers. Yes. So be interesting to see what his potential is after this arc, and I hope they get Gojo back. But anyway, then we get to the last bit.
Go to the bit with Mahito.
Then we get up to the bit with Mahito.
Like, Mahito's reaching for something.
Mahito, I think, went to get him. Went to get Geto.
Yeah.
I think he went for the kill because he knew.
Yeah. Went to touch him.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd imagine, like, the whole symbolism last episode about, like, the wolf thing. It's kind of like, you know, the wolf and the rabbit. And it's like, even if Mihio seemed somewhat like he expected it because of what he said as well. But at the same time, it seemed like instinct, like he sensed the danger, he had to do something, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, he went to reach out, and obviously he got Junpei'd. So what Mihito done to Junpei, Geto basically...
What he says is interesting, though.
Yeah. What, Mihito? About humans?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if that's
I knew after all of humans I was born.
Yeah, I think he was like saying that humans. He knew that Geto was always going to betray him, or like the brain was always going to betray him. I think it's what he's saying. But because he knew that like that guy was always bad, kind of thing. He was never on the side of curses per se, which is interesting because even since the beginning he never liked him, like stuff that he's always said and stuff.
I was going to go back. I was going to go on to this anyway, but also another thing is that like it's interesting that he has Mihio's curse technique. So did he?
Well, we'll have to get more info on that, but I know what you mean, like the whole transfigure thing, or like the transfigure.
Yeah, because it's human transfiguration, or he's sealed him. I don't know which one, but
yeah, he's good.
He can put them into balls as well. Like that was what Mihio did. You saw it in the anime. Like he can.
Yeah. It is interesting if that is really just like whether that ball thing is like a separate power, like a seal, or like a separate power of his.
Yeah.
Or as you say, if it's like in some way, as he's like went to touch him and he's touched him, he's kind of stole his power as well or something. If it's that easy, kind of thing, that would be very, very interesting. Or like you say, if he had it before.
It is interesting. Yeah.
There's so much to know. I'm actually really excited to learn about this brain. Like this Geto guy. Fucking man.
Yes. So there's a couple of things that I was going to say that we sort of briefly didn't want to go into because it was more at the end, but I think that, like you said, I'm not sure where actually Geto's allegiances align.
I think he's like,
or whether he's his own.
Yeah.
He's his own faction. I think he doesn't like curses. He doesn't like sorcerers. I feel like he's very much like when Sukuna came out. Sukuna was killing everything and anyone.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
He knows the biggest threats. Similar. He knows the biggest threats in it. Like Gojo, he went straight for Gojo. He knows Sukuna's his next biggest threat probably. Which is why
he knew Mihio was a threat.
Yeah.
He was becoming a threat.
Yeah. But yeah, it depends how strong this man is, to be fair. Like, I mean, he was like straight up commanding.
He might have been nothing to Mihio.
Yeah, like in terms of like when you look at Jogo and stuff, and how Jogo was really meant to be stronger than Mihio at this point, like a fully fledged special grade kind of thing, and you know, like Sukuna done nothing to it, like it was nothing to him. And if we are debating that Brain is somewhat strong, but then I reckon the reason Brain's after him is because he knows he's not on that level of Gojo or Sukuna. But again, that's just all theory, like we don't know that because, you know, still so much to explain to us. But what I want to say as well is what Geto ends with. And he says how they shall now discuss the world to come and stuff like that. I mean, maybe I'm looking too far into this, but it kind of like, again, to me, links back to Mei Mei in terms of how she's... I know this is like different to what he's... It's not different, but it's like a different side to what he's saying. But what he's saying is like, it affects, say, like Japan in terms of whatever. If she knows that's coming, then does that mean she's kind of inside on that information, you know? Kind of thing. Is that why she got out of Japan in general? You know? She knows that whatever's coming in the aftermath of this arc, it will kind of like almost ruin Japan potentially. Will curses run amok or something? Like there's a lot of questions. But no, I think that's my thing. Is like if they're connected somewhere, if like Mei Mei knows someone who going, or if Brain has his own like little faction somewhere, like you were saying, like we're saying he's on his own, but does he have his own little group somewhere else, kind of thing? And the special grade curses were kind of like a side gig, you know? Yeah,
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, do we, for you, like, especially with this chapter, do we think this is it for Mihio, or like?
I don't know, man.
I mean, it's very GG-like to create and build a character and then just absolutely kill him off.
Kill him off, yeah. Like, I mean, I don't.
It's not nothing new in this series.
Again, I was kind of gutted this time around, mainly because not because of Mihio. I wanted Mihio to die there, kind of thing. I was kind of going because of the whole Yuji setup, and I really thought it was going to be Yuji, and I think it might well be, but I don't know if it could be executed that well again. You know, that was sick.
No, it's true.
Which was, again, to me was kind of a shame, But again, we don't know what's going on. We've literally, again, we've got like what the equivalent of like say 10 seconds more than we got last chapter in terms of like it only actually progressed about another 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
So
that's true.
We don't know what Geto is about to proclaim, but we've got another 2 weeks to wait for the next one. In terms of like the break and stuff, but it's an interesting one to end on the new year. It's an interesting one to end on that.
Unless he's just sealed Mahito away because he's saying it's finished here now. Like we've got our goal.
Yeah.
Like we've sealed Gojo.
Yeah.
But then I don't think it is just because the way that Geto is acting right now and the way he's looking at Mahito is like, should I save you? Unless he is saving him. Like I don't know, but
I saw someone say like, I saw someone make an art piece, right, and I thought it was real at first, right, and it was afterwards Geto eating that ball, right, so it's like, and it got me thinking about the whole like, as you were just saying about the power thing, so like maybe that's his power, like he puts these curses into like these balls and maybe he'll like you know consume it in some way, and then that's like, you know, as you say, Mahito gone, he's now inside brain. And maybe he'll come back one day, but like, I'm thinking that now. Like, is that? Oh,
that's interesting.
Yeah, because I remember thinking that was real when I saw it. I thought it was like a leak, but it obviously never happened in the chapter. But maybe it's that. Maybe it's that. But we won't know. But again, like, I feel like that would be a really annoying way to end Mahito's story out, not because he doesn't deserve to die or anything, because the whole Yuji and he setup, you know.
Yeah, Gigi set him up that these two are rivals, and Geto was more of Gojo's
I was more
rival.
shocked that it was ending there and then, but I didn't mind it because I was like, that's pretty like mad, like because it's just a mad shock that it's not going to be one of them rivalries that stretches the whole series, you know. It was going to end there and then.
You wouldn't mind it if he actually finished off that part of the story with his arc. So, like, if Yuji actually got to kill him, got his revenge on what he's done to him and the torture that he's put Yuji through. But now it's sort of like he's got out of it, Mahito now. He's sort of got out of Yuji absolutely annihilating him.
Looks like, if anything, Geto's going to get the kill. But again, a very cool line and chapter to end on, a world to come, and I feel like the next year is basically just going to be like us getting introduced to this brain character. I feel that's what's going to happen. I don't know how they're going to get Gojo out, like in terms of like, I don't know how you'd even face this guy now in the current situation the sorcerers are in.
You've got no Nanami.
No, Todo looks like he's pretty like not useless, but he's hand. Like, we know the claps don't work and that now. Unless
a certain character turns up that we've not met yet.
Oh, Yuta, potentially. The minute I saw somewhat like when it was Mei's bit, when I saw it was in another country, I thought he was getting it, but it wasn't, because I think Yuta went like to Africa or something. So I was kind of gutted. But cause that's why he's not around. But yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, more and more mentions of him. The anime's showing him off a lot as well. Like in terms of like, you know, showing him snippets. I think we are going to get Yuta in another third year, like come back. We're going to get more info on these other schools and things. That's what I think. Like in the coming year, we're going to get more on these students. I'm hoping we get more on, like, say, even the characters who like Maki. And I personally obviously want Inamaki, right? I want some more Inamaki content because he hasn't had a lot.
I want more Maki, Panda.
Like,
yeah, all of them, man.
But like, yeah, like Maki got. I hope she's okay, but Maki obviously got the fight in this arc. Panda even got a little bit more, but Inamaki I barely saw this arc, so I'm kind of gutted about that.
Yeah, it's true.
But I hope to see more of all the boys.
Unless he turns up.
Unless he turns up, but I don't know. Anyone turn up here? I think I'd rather him not turn up here. I think like anyone that turns up here is kind of fucked. But again, yeah, I really don't know where they're gonna go from here, but I think it's a really cool way to set up for next year's, like for the next year's chapters.
What I think is that Geto won't kill. Like he doesn't want to kill Yuji either. No. He wants Sukuna for some reason.
Yeah.
So I know Yuji is obviously not dying.
I don't think he'll kill Yuji now.
And I don't think. I think someone might need to turn up to help him escape.
Okay. Yeah.
but it's just guessing who that is unless Gojo breaks out.
Gojo, yeah, unless
because Gojo is there.
Yeah. This is it. That's what Yuji's trying to do, isn't it? So if Yuji managed to do that, major goat moves.
But what if Gojo broke out again?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know how he'd break out. I feel like he would have broke out by now. So many things with Gojo that
or he's timing it.
Because Gojo really yeah, but people like, I'm not being funny. Do you really think he would have let Nanami die if he could have timed it?
Yeah, but he wouldn't have known what was going on with Nanami if he was.
Nothing surprises me with Gojo. Like,
true.
With what he can sense and stuff. I know what you mean though. He is in the prison realm. I am really wondering how he'll react to that news and the whole Nobara thing, because he seemed so confident in before, you know.
We still don't know what's happening in Nobara. Jeez, we need this arc. We need an aftermath.
We need an aftermath arc already.
And then Nami turns up alive. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I can dream, but it will never happen.
Nah, Gigi's not that nice, unfortunately. But no, I really enjoyed this chapter. I really enjoyed this year of Jujutsu Kaisen, to be honest. How would you rate the final chapter of the year?
I think I'd probably give it like. It's tough.
I'd
probably
give it like a 9.
I think a 9.
Yeah, I think it was a good chapter.
I think 9.
I think back to the past chapters we've had this year though, and there's ones that have just blown my fucking mind.
But
this one's been a lot of information.
There's been a lot of 10s.
Yeah, and as I've said, it's been like it was a good chapter to end on, in my opinion, to set up for next year's chapters and like what's going to happen going on. I reckon we'll get like as you
that
say,
first week back for Shonens was crazy. That's what
I still can't believe this arc's still going, honestly. But yeah, no, it is. It is. Yeah, the first week back.
It's really Jujutsu Kaisen has really I think really upped its reputation because like now I've seen what he can do in this arc. I'm gonna expect the big arcs to be just as good as this, if not better.
I know, yeah. He's made like an ultimate arc
it's competed.
Yeah,
and it's competed for me with One Piece and My Hero.
Yeah,
Like I've looked forward to this, if not like just as much, if not more. Personally, for me, like I've enjoyed reading this a lot more at certain points, or more consistently.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
Shibuya Instant has been straight fire.
This has been more consistent than maybe My Hero or One Piece has, but then that's just the way they're written as well.
I think it's been very good. I think my manga of the year this year for the chapters have still been One Piece, but I understand what you mean.
No.
The arc has been incredible, and it's such like, even though the other arcs have been good, this one's been such a step up in terms of like the events that have went down.
Yeah,
and
100%.
He's really like outdone himself in terms of like, you know, he's gone against like some shonen tropes and stuff. And it's just been great. Yeah, it's just been brilliant, and I hope he ends it well. I hope like he can end this arc off well, and I hope we get some good arcs in the future and stuff. I want more arcs back where we can see how Yuji, Megumi, and hopefully Nobara respond to all this afterwards, kind of thing. But who knows what's going to happen now after this? As Geto said, we don't know the world to come. It could be like a complete fuck up from here. You know, in terms of like, could be like apocalyptic in Japan. Who knows?
It could be like the world that Sukuna creates.
Yeah, this is it. So, honestly, so many questions. But I think we're going to get in the next chapter, and I think, I think he set up brilliantly for Jan. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this year. As we said, we both enjoyed it. We're looking forward to next year. So if you enjoyed this, then please consider subscribing, because we will be trying to cover as many chapters as we can next year, and we definitely be
100%.
talking about the anime, because so far it's been a brilliant adaptation. So if you're interested in that, then please look at our reactions in our channel. We've had we do reviews and stuff after the episodes and stuff, and so far we've been really enjoying it and really getting into it. So yeah, if you enjoyed, then please consider liking, and we hope to see you in the next video. Peace.